Hello, this is Matt Langlois, and this is my Unit 5 topic. So the summary of it is I want to teach rhythm and composition to 5th graders in music. And for this, it's all about learning very common rhythmic notation in music, and they will probably have some semblance of what it is. Usually by 5th grade they have had some experience with music notation, but we're going to really solidify that, and we're going to build upon it with making just a simple composition. The music standards, I went with the Core Arts standard Creating, and this will cover the 1 and 2, the anchor standards, generating and conceptualizing artistic ideas and work, using those rhythms and making a composition, and organizing and developing those ideas. Using that technology will organize and develop. With the technology standards, I chose the Creative Communicator standards, so students will clearly Students will communicate clearly and express themselves creatively through a variety of purposes using the platforms. So the music notation software that we are going to be using. The objectives, the creating objective, upon completion of this learning experience, the learner will be able to identify the different rhythmic symbols of music when creating a short composition that is 16 measures long, using all of the symbols provided. So, as you can see, we don't use all of the rhythm symbols, because that would be kind of insane, but we are just going to follow these main couple. With our creative communicator objective, the learner will be able to express themselves digitally, writing a short composition using music notation software. So they'll be able to use this as a form of expression. Now the formative assessment, so I'm thinking this will be a part of a greater rhythm unit. So probably like halfway in the unit, I will pull out the Kahoot, make sure they know, okay, these are the parts of the actual symbols. This is kind of how you write them. This is what they're called. This is the duration of them, how long they last in a measure, focusing mostly on 4/4 time. And I have this Kahoot link here. For the summative assessment, that will actually be the composition itself, because they will incorporate all their learning into this, and they will demonstrate their learning through making this composition. So they will use all the rhythm symbols we've talked about, and they will write 16 measures in 4/4 time, or common time, using notes provided. So I'm thinking having a pentatonic scale. Pentatonic scales are 5 notes, and you can basically use them in any order, and you can still make a pretty decent sounding piece no matter what. Excuse me. And we will be using the music notation software Flat.io. Pretty comprehensive, pretty straightforward stuff. Can't do anything too fancy with it, but it's free, and there's a cloud for it, so that's good. Accommodations and modifications. I might be tweaking this a little bit as I go forward with this, but I'm thinking we'll have a few different options for the diverse learners. One, they can do the assignment as is, except maybe make it 8 measures, maybe so it doesn't feel such like a burden. I'm thinking we could eliminate the pentatonic scale altogether, have them just do rhythms on 1 note, or fewer notes maybe, just so they don't feel so overwhelmed by that. The big thing is really just learning about those rhythms. Or they could work one-on-one with me, composing together, and I'll really try to just scaffold it for them, and then they can still walk away from it like, wow, I created something. And then I'll have them perform it on claps or on a classroom instrument like a xylophone or a drum or something. Just so I can really tell, like, yes, I helped them, but they demonstrate that learning through performance. So they kind of hit two standards there. And the other one, maybe I will just put the rhythms on a screen and they will try to improvise something using those rhythms or something along those lines, again, to demonstrate that they have learned what these rhythms are. Alright, that's what I've got.